Conversations Worth Having by Jacqueline Stavros, Cherry Torres, and David Cooperrider teaches readers about how to make conversations more productive and identify and solve problems in interpersonal communication. This video will highlight the key points in just a few minutes. The conversation is the building block of every human interaction, from professional to personal, shallow to deep. Not only do our words matter, but the tone and non-verbal language we use also affects other people. A good conversation can improve productivity and morale, while bad conversations can demotivate people and damage relationships. The practice of appreciative inquiry can ensure that we will always have good outcomes from our conversations. It is as simple as positively framing as much as possible and asking questions, which has the double benefit of making other people feel appreciated and heard while moving the conversation in the direction you want it to go. When dealing with problems, instead of directing the problem at an individual or group, which will elicit excuses and pushback, simply state the problem and the desired outcome for the future with no indication of fault, and follow up with a positively framed discussion of the situation. Attempt to focus on positive outcomes where they exist and what can be learned from this. Being positive gets people to open up and talk simply because they don't need to be afraid or defensive. In order to maximize your effectiveness in positive framing, you need to tune in to the unseen influences on communication. Things like our words, our tone, and our gestures are visible and influence the direction of a conversation. However, under the surface, factors like individuals' recent experiences and their firmly held beliefs, and also how tired they feel, can influence them. As we have seen in other videos, people often don't realize how their actions can subtly detract from their intention and then react negatively as a result, causing a downward spiral which eventually leads to complete dissolution of the relationship or failure of the group. To identify these invisible effects, you must be both direct and curious. Take a pause and breathe to cut the momentum, and then ask questions to get the information that you want, without falling into the trap of being accusatory or negative. Ask questions which allow you to consciously take charge and gain the necessary information. Sneaking around the issue won't help people resolve their problems. A good question to ask others first is something like, where can we see good outcomes? And why are the outcomes good in these cases? These generative questions are an essential part of appreciative inquiry. They reveal new information, create a positive tone, and increase everyone's understanding, generating new knowledge, which leads people to be inspired. It is also clear positive framing which turns the conversation into being about something everyone involved wants, instead of being bogged down in attacking and defending when everyone is supposed to be on the same side. Try flipping the conversation around and starting with the intended result. State what would happen if the current problems were solved and ask everyone to agree that they feel the benefit of the outcome. Then investigate the specific problems. If people are late, ask them what is the problem that is causing their lateness. This frames the conversation as helping people reach an outcome they want. It makes people more positive because everyone can see that they are trying to head in the same direction and not simply being scolded. It also allows people to be open about their needs, which will allow for more solution generation. Focusing on good things, talking about future good outcomes, and working to identify other people's reasoning for their own words and actions will allow you to make all parts of your life more positive and organized. In work, projects and teams will run more smoothly, teachers can understand their students' difficulties and see their own biases in their teaching methods, and families can overcome troubles and worries by staying aware of their shared history and discussing everything openly. Observe your conversations. Remember, you have the power to change someone's thinking entirely with your words. Always seek to add value and positivity when engaging with other people. By being aware of this, you will gradually be able to make it a natural part of your communication ability.
MA